What's up, everybody? This is Phil Rogacki.
And I'm Jared Abergina.
You're listening to Two Tree Guys Podcast. What's up, everybody? Phil Rogacki here with another fun episode brought to you by Cheryl Tree Arbor Fest 2022. And I roped this gentleman in out there at the tree demo to come in and hear their story, you know, especially when I hear someone from Michigan. Go blue, Buck Sock, go blue all the way. You're probably not even a Michigan fan. You're probably a Michigan State fan. You probably don't even watch football.
Nope.
But that's oh gosh, I was wrong there.
Not
Michigan
interested.
got me there. But hey, gentleman here named Joshua Burr.
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 B-U-R-R.
Joshua Burr
Like it's cold.
from Michigan, man. And welcome. Is this your first podcast you ever done?
Yeah. Yep.
Your first podcast. All
Yep.
right.
I've done like a written thing with Bartlett. That was online, so it's kind of similar. But yeah, first
Well, good,
podcast.
man. Good. And like I was telling you, people, our biggest fans in North Korea and New Zealand are going to be listening to this. So you have a story, just like everybody does, that's unique. Why you got in this industry, people that have mentored you and helped you along the way, and things you've learned and are talented in that nobody has. So we're here to hear your story. How'd you get in this industry?
Oh, I was about middle school going into high school, 15, 16.
How old are you right now?
24.
Okay.
Yep. So I was pretty young getting into it, and I didn't know anything about tree work. It was just a job. It paid like $10 an hour cash, and I've always loved being outside. So it was just like an outdoor labor job at first.
Okay.
Well, at first, but the first day on the job, I saw the climber coming out of the tree. I showed up like as the job was already started, and I saw the climber like coming out of the tree and getting ready to get into the next tree, and I was like, whoa, like what
was that?
What are we doing here?
What
like
is
I
that?
didn't know there was climbing involved. And because obviously I just showed up to like drag branches into the chipper, like that was.
And how'd you find this job?
So my mom, she was working at a doctor's office, and the company owner just was kind of like talking to my mom about how he was like needing employees, as every company owner needs employees. And my mom was basically just like, I've got an almost 16-year-old, like, is that old enough, basically? And for entry level drag and brush, like, he's like, yeah, that's cool.
Okay.
So I was with them for about 2 or 3 years.
Good for you, man. What was that company called?
AWD Tree.
AWD Tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
It said all-wheel drive tree. It was the guy's initials, but
Gotcha.
we had some funny acronyms that we gave it. But so I was with them my first 3 years, and they actually brought me to something similar to this. Bartlett Arborist Supply is about an hour away from us.
Gotcha.
And they have an open house, kind of like this once a year, where they do like seminars and stuff like that, very hands-on, and you can hang out with the instructors and stuff.
Okay.
So that was like my first real exposure to anything like professional, because these guys, they were spike pruning trees, no helmets, and just running a Blake's hitch and a closed system. Like, it was very, but I didn't know any better. I didn't know anything else.
You saw that was it. There's nothing else
tree
out
work
there.
to me. Yeah. I was in that little bubble, and so then Bartlett was my first like real experience into the professional world. I got to see Rich Hattier and like Jake Carafell and some like, some real cool people that I like still look up to this day. And so I guess that kind of rolls into like the mentors, but
and you're at what, like 19 at this time, 18?
I was about 17 for my first like Bartlett open
Gotcha.
house, and then that kind of rolled into Bartlett ran a competition called Tree Jam Camp. So then I was like 17-ish doing my first tree climbing competition.
Yeah, how'd you do?
Got to I didn't really I'm not sure how I did overall.
But you competed.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, getting in the game is important.
Yeah,
you know?
especially early, because you can
just do it.
I got to see so many people from out of state, Jeff Inman and Chris Coates and
what did it make
Nick
you do
Markley.
after going through that competition for the first time at 17 years old?
What did it
do for you?
Oh my goodness. So like I saw the guys from the Bartlett open house, but then when I saw all these cool guys from out of state, like Tanguy Bernard from like France, like man, seeing all these guys from like out of the country, out of state, I'm like, whoa. So that really gave me the bug. Like I was hooked after that. I looked into our state chapter competition after that. That was Michigan's like ISA chapter
Yeah.
competition, and I've been doing that every year since. And
Have you won it?
yes, just this past
You
year.
have?
I just won
Good
it,
job,
yeah.
dude.
Thank you. Yep.
Nice, man.
Lots of hard work and putting yourself around the right people.
The right people. When you put yourself around people that are better than you, you only can go up.
Yeah.
That's it.
My boss always says iron sharpens
It's
iron.
Tony
Like,
Robbins. You know Tony Robbins?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Nope. Sorry.
Gosh, I'm aging myself. Tony Robbins. Get online,
Yes.
look up Tony Robbins, start watching his stuff. You need that, okay?
Yes. Oh yeah.
It'll change your life. But one of the things he says, if I want to be a billionaire, I don't hang around millionaires. I hang
Yes.
around billionaires.
Okay, I've heard that before.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's
Yep.
Tony Robbins
Cool.
for that. So
I might know like his face. His name's
you'll know
not-
his face when
Yeah,
you see him.
yeah.
You're like, oh, that's Tony Robbins.
Cool.
Yeah. So getting in and doing your first competition all the way up to winning in Michigan, I mean, that fired you up. I mean, to learn more. So where did you start going after, going through your very first competition at 17 years old, getting fired up, meeting all these guys? Where did you start going to get education and training, and how did you get to the point of winning in Michigan?
Yeah. So, my first couple of years in tree work were very like I didn't know what I didn't know kind of thing, and then once I left that first company, I did a little bit of contract climbing with just like the local crews around
Okay.
and made some great friends that way.
Yeah.
But my friend Neil and TJ, they showed me like single rope, and they showed me like a rope runner for the
Yeah.
first time. And I was coming from rock climbing, so I was already familiar with like the concepts
comfortable.
of stationary rope.
Yeah.
But yeah, him showing me a rope runner, and then I was like, wow, that thing looks like a Cadillac compared to like tying a Blake's hitch back to itself.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? And then they told me that, I mean, I'm fortunate enough to be in Michigan, and Singing Tree and Kevin Bingham is out of Michigan. So like where you were saying, how did I put myself around the right people? Like, yeah, it was only like an hour from Kevin. So
Gotcha.
I wound up getting to meet him at some point, and working with him. And yeah, so it's really through the competitions. That was like my, I don't know what you want to call it, but the limits are
Putting yourself, you were learning some of what took these guys,
Sure.
20, 30 years,
yeah.
some of them, to learn these tricks. You're out there with them, you're watching them, you're observing them, and you're going, oh, I see how he did that.
Yeah.
Oh, I got that. And you started picking up all these little nuggets.
Well, and seeing like the wrong things done right, like where they get away with doing something silly, or like they'll have something set up right, and the execution was not
Yeah.
done right. So working with people who really know what they're doing, and then
Yeah.
being around some knuckleheads too, like there's a lot of opportunities to learn.
Unfortunately, everybody's around the knuckleheads. Are usually starting
some
off
point.
in the company.
Yeah.
But it does help you out. It does help you learn the right way, or maybe not. To some individuals like yourself, see it and go, that's not how you do it, and that's unsafe. And I'm gonna try to find a better way to do it. But there's some people in the industry that are like, look, man, I got all my fingers. I'm okay.
I worked this far.
I've worked this far. Exactly. Nothing's wrong with me. I made it this long. And that's not the right attitude. But, individuals like yourself that sought out the professionals and better way of doing it, you constantly had to keep putting yourself out there in situations to gather that knowledge, for that. And kudos to you for going after it and doing that, because a lot of people, they don't do it. They just don't, man. They think there's only one way and that's it. And they never grow. They never expand. In 20 years, they're at the same level, using the Blake's hitch every single day.
They're comfortable. There's
They're
no more
comfortable.
learning curve. They're just cruising.
So
Complaining about how
what's
their
the
arms
future
hurt.
hold for you? What's your goal? Because, well, let me ask you this. Just before I get into that, you've named off a bunch of names like you've been following football players and baseball players, and do you have these posters up in your walls or when you were a kid or anything? Because you said it with so much confidence and saying some names where I have no idea who these people are.
Sure. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
I initially
what's up with that?
told before when you said like the mentor thing, I was just gonna say I had been around some like pretty cool individuals.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, people will know some of the names, like Kevin with the rope runner and the rope wrench. Yeah.
Who would you say if you could be like any climber there is out there or have their skills that they have, which one would you, like, people say, hey, if you had a superpower, what superpower would you have?
Yeah.
What climber skills would you have?
Bettis is up there, Bettis Strasser.
Bettis.
And, man, watching old videos of Jared Abergina, man, like those are cool too. I haven't seen him climb too much in person, but learning a lot on videos. There's so many like just well documented like climbing competitions to where you get to see like how they were doing it, like like they made a lot of these tricks that we're using today. So,
and now it's normal, and back then it was cool.
It was very
oh
new
my
back
gosh,
then.
it was cutting edge.
Exactly.
So that goes to yourself as Jared says, they're getting tired of hearing from Jared Abergina and Mark Chisholm and these guys where it's time for the next generation to kind of come in and step up to take these roles as they took, Jared Abergina took the Ken Palmer roles, the generations are passing and you're passing the torch. So that's kind of what's in your future, to be one of those guys to where 20 years from now, there's someone sitting in your seat saying your name and going, man, I want to climb like him because you watch so-and-so and they watch so-and-so. And this is how our industry gets better. And you're going to be cutting edge and innovative on some techniques and things you're learning that will be just standard 10 years from now.
Yep.
So, that's the thing in the academy is to elevate the standard of the industry through safety, training, and innovation. How do we educate? How do we innovate? And how do we elevate the standard of a safety out there amongst our industry for that? So, what's some wisdom and some tips that you can give, things you learned from all these individuals and maybe turned it into your own techniques, but what things out there can you give the industry, tips from the top or wisdom from yourself?
Just overall positivity has gotten me really, really far. Like, I always say positive mental attitude, but
how do you have that every day waking up? How do you just say, hey, have a positive attitude? How does somebody go, I'm going to be positive today?
It's a switch. I mean, it takes a little bit of effort, but getting out here, I was on my way to the Southern competition, which was last weekend, and I just bought a new a car from my boss's parents, and it stranded me about 45 minutes from my friend in West Virginia. And rather than me saying I'm missing the Southern competition, I got to hang out with my friend Jimmy for like a week and a half, and then just came down here with Jimmy, and I'm getting a rental car home, and I'll get the car figured out. Like, I'm right where I need to be. That's another thing. Like, I'm right where I need to be, and
that's good, man.
Yeah. Don't.
You're right. That's really good. You took what some people will turn into a negative situation and ruin the next
however long
5 weeks of themselves and then mad at your boss and mad at his mom and dad for selling you the car and all. But you go, you know what? This is where I need to be. I'm at the right place. There's a reason why I'm here. Let me take that and turn that into a positive. That's what a great mindset. Now, were you a different way before? I mean, when you said, it takes a little effort, were you a certain way before that, or have you always been kind of that positive?
It's always something I've strived for. I kind of picked up on that from a friend at the skate park growing up. I BMX'd for a while, still kind of get on it every now and then. But yeah, one of the friends I looked up to in that scene, that was something he always kind of carried with him. And then just the people I've been around, whether it's in tree work or not in tree work, there's been a few like very positive people in my life, or that I've got to see online, that just their positivity really shines. And his name's J Dub or J Bub, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, he says positivity is contagious. Like, just share a smile with someone. And
it is. It really is, man. I mean, I just met you 10 minutes ago walking, and I could just tell right away you had a different glow and energy about you. And it just made me go, this guy needs to get on the podcast. Someone needs to hear his story.
I was right over here this morning, and I glanced over, and I was like, I'll make my way over there at some point. But I was like,
You're right.
podcast.
You're
like,
right where you need to be right now, right?
Yep,
right
yep.
where you need to be. So, Joshua, you got an amazing story. I have a feeling that I'll be hearing your name in the future here, or out there in Arborfest training and teaching with the Chisholms and the Derek Martins and the Matt Meckleys and Jared Aberginas and Travis and Ryan Torchicola. And
Is Matt here?
Matt Meckley?
Yeah. Is he
Yeah,
here?
we brought him from California.
That's exciting.
Yeah, see, Matt. So Matt, he's excited. I told you there was people coming here to see you, my friend. See you. He didn't believe me when I told him that. He goes, no one's here to see me. I'm like, yeah, they are, man. They're Matt Meckley, dude. They're freaking pumped. So yeah, Matt's here. We'll have to hang out with him a little bit later from that. So keep inspiring people. Keep have that positive attitude and spread that and share that, man. I appreciate you being on the show. Listen to it. You're going to be a freaking rock star in New Zealand or South Korea. They're going to love you there.
I'll be an Andy Neverman.
There you go.
Definitely.
Well, cool, man. All right, guys. This is Two Tree Guy Podcast, and we're out. Have a great day.